creative people have extremely bad habits. And today we're going to be talking about that. I'm talking about myself as well. Like, I do these bad things all the time, and we need to change.
Yo, I'm like,
One of the first things that a lot of creative people do that is terrible is the fact that we do not focus on our bodies enough. Look, everybody is guilty of this. Yes, we do complain, oh, because of the nature of the job that we do, it's very difficult for us to stay healthy in terms of like healthy lifestyle and all of these things. We use these things as excuses. Yes, it's difficult, but we can still make provisions to make sure that this thing works. Now, health is wealth. If you don't take care of your body, it will eventually start to wither you away, and people start to get burnouts, people start to feel sick, and all of these things. I personally exhibit this bad habit in terms of when I'm on a production, I genuinely forget to eat. How? I don't know. Trust me, I love food, but it's just like when I'm on a production set, I'm so dialed into what I'm trying to do that food is non-existent at that point. And oftentimes I've always tried to get someone to remind me or to set an alarm or something like that. But I find that even when I do that and I see the alarm, I still just be like, yeah, whatever, and just not focus on the food. And I think this cuts across a lot of creatives, whether it's in the film industry, design industry, any type of creative. We do not focus on our body. So I hope that if you're coming into this industry or you're already here, I hope that you take time to actually focus on your health and try to take care of your body. One of the things that I've been doing is to cook my meals myself when I possibly can, is to go to the gym and exercise. And if I don't have access to the gym, I play basketball. And if I don't play basketball, I try to run. And if I don't run, I try to do yoga or like just stretch right as soon as I wake up. And am I doing these things consistently? Absolutely not. Who am I? Goat James? Maybe. Bad habits of creative people not taking care of our body has to be right there at the very top. I challenge you to find someone, a creative, who does this mostly full time. I challenge you to find someone who extensively or even generally has a good routine to take care of their body. I'm waiting. If you find them, please send them my way. I would like some tips and tricks to be able to do that. The next bad habit of creative people is that we do not focus enough on strategy. I'm sure you must have heard the term the starving artist. Now, a lot of creatives fall in this category because we're so focused on just creating and forget that whatever you create oftentimes is a product, and that product still has to be sold. That skill that you have still has to be put in front of people to say, hey, I know how to do this thing and I can do this thing for you while you pay a fee for that. Oftentimes people who create full-time, part-time, whatever, just focus on the creative part and don't spend time trying to master the art of like marketing, for example, copywriting, branding, and all these other things that helps you put together the full package of what you need to do. Now, as someone who has a master's degree in business and a PhD in business as well, having worked extensively in the corporate world before I came into filmmaking, knowing that this is perhaps one of the first things that I had to do was to properly answer the question, how do I present myself as a creative into the world? And that as trickles down from when I started years ago up until now being a creative director. And you can see this going into my treatments. I would say that so far my treatment has a 90% success rate, which is for every treatment that I've done, I've mostly always landed the project, or at least it's gotten my foot into the door. In terms of the language that I use, I understand that the person who's reading this, he's not a film director, this is not a filmmaker, this is a business person. This is someone who runs an organization. They like to see business results and business words. So focusing on the strategic part of what the problem that this content that I will create and direct for them is going to solve by showing them, oh, this is the problem, this is what I'm offering, this is what you get. That strategic connection helps them easily understand why they should be paying my fees and why this makes sense to do. So also as a creative, we need to start thinking more in terms of the strategic side of things and not only focus on the creative, oh, I want to create this video, I want to do this, I want to do that, but how does that video translate into a brand presence or like increases your brand appeal as the creator? Sometimes maybe it's taking classes online or speaking or having a business mentor or something like that. Just you need to find a way to develop the business and the strategic side of things. The third one that I think that even I really struggled with this when I first started out was we often don't know how to dissociate ourselves from our work. I remember way back then when I would make a video and someone would give a feedback about the video, I would feel a certain type of way because for me, a lot of what I did was attached to my sense of hard work, the sense of like, oh, if they don't like it, then it means that I didn't work hard enough, or if they don't like it, I feel attacked or I'm unhappy or something like that. And I struggled with this in the very beginning of my career when I first started out. But I think as time went on, I started to realize that at the end of the day, what we create is very subjective. Art is subjective. What someone else will like, another person will say, oh, well, this is just garbage. And you need to be able to understand that when that happens, this feedback, is it constructive enough? That's the first question that I ask. If it's constructive enough and I feel like, yeah, I've done all I could possibly do, then it now goes down to the fact that there's a subjective factor, the subjectivity of what this person likes that I cannot necessarily account for. Once you do that, it's easy for you to see yourself outside of your work because really, you are not your work. I think for the most part, me as a person is not necessarily Tayo as a director, which is why now one of the things that I'm trying to do is to start rebranding myself in terms of how my actual name is on the projects that I do. I'm taking that away because I still want to have me as Tayo, who is not the film guy, who maybe is a dad, is a son, is a husband, I'm not married, is a brother, is a friend, is a dude, is a basketball player, is all of these things outside of filmmaking. Everything that I am outside of filmmaking, I still want those things to exist in itself. So I think that we as filmmakers, we as creatives, whether you paint, whether you sing, we need to be able to dissociate ourselves from the work that we do. It's a section of who we are. It is not necessarily the measure of the quality of the person that we are. Oof. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you get the gist.
We only have one shot left, and it's a wrap.
Lastly, this is going to be very controversial, but I think that a lot of creatives do not know how to value the work that they do. Ultimately, they do not charge enough. And maybe this is coming from a place of feeling like, oh, my work isn't all that, or it's too much, or something like that. I'm just gonna say it straight away right now. Look at me. You are not charging enough, and you need to start doing that, which is why I said in the beginning, if you can start to make connections between the strategic side of the problem you are solving for this person, you would understand that the value that you are placing on your service is too small because you are solving a major problem that would cost us people way more. Ultimately, it comes down to understanding the strategic side of things and seeing how the quality of the value that you give. Now, once again, these things are subjective. What you think might be valuable, unless you've had the conversation and it has been established that yes, this is valuable, you need to be careful of how you see your work so that you don't also overestimate what you were doing. Remember guys, video is a product, it's a service. You are selling, you are making a service that you are giving to someone. It's just like you go to a restaurant, you go there, you buy food, you eat, you leave. They solve a problem for you, hunger. The same thing with video. Video solves a problem. Someone is trying to build a brand, someone's trying to do some marketing. You creating that content solves a strategic problem for that. And the value of that is not only in terms of the camera gear that you use. It's not only in terms of the amount of time that you spend making the video. It's also in what is the value of the solution that I'm giving to you. And with that being said, let me know if there are other things that we creatives do that is terrible and that I did not mention in this video. I'm pretty sure we have a lot of bad habits, y'all. I'm pretty sure. But those are the only 4 things I could think of for now. All right, let me know what you think and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.